All right, hello. This is part 2 of the lesson on ArrayList. And for this part, we are going to be doing some notes together. All right, so basically, if you want to get this file here, again, Schoology will look a little bit different because I'm still in like construction mode here, but you want to find something called ArrayList notes.java. It should be in the folder for today, right? And then just click on that, get the code, and either drag it into Eclipse or paste it into Eclipse so that you have something that looks like this. All right, and so basically we're going to practice some ArrayList coding. And if you want to try to type out what you remember on some of these by looking back at the notes or the video or just trying to remember it, that process of trying to remember is actually how you learn. So if you want to try to remember them first and then watch my solutions, it's probably a good way to do this. One note about ArrayList, they're not built in. So remember, the variable types like double and int and string are so common that they're built in. But something like ArrayList is actually not super, well, I mean, they're fairly common, but they're not built into a default program. So you actually have to tell Java you want to use it. So you'll need this import statement at the top, which I think I already put in there, but just for future reference, you have to use import when you want to use ArrayList. All right, so yeah, so again, I would just see if you remember how to create it. Like what I would probably do is take these, like, I don't know, you can see 5 of them up here. I would try to type these out as best as I can and then kind of unpause the video and watch the solutions when you're stuck, right? But that process, again, of trying to remember is going to be the best thing you can do to try and learn. So hopefully you've attempted these, and here I go with some answers. All right, so to create an array list, you do the type first, like we always do, right? Normally I have like just an int type or something, but we're going to do an array list. And then one of the weird things about array list is you have to put in pointed brackets what type of variable you want to store in the array, or array list, I guess I should say. And so in this one, we want to do string. So I'm just going to put the type in there, and then I'm going to give it a name. So maybe I'll call it friends or something like that. All right, and I'm going to set it equal to, I'm going to do new because it's a pointer type, and then I'm going to repeat this exact thing here, array list, and then whatever's in the array list, and then you have to do like open and close parentheses with nothing in there because we're not passing in. I think you could actually pass in some initial strings here maybe if you wanted to declare it with strings in it already. I'm not sure how that would work, but anyways. Okay, and so then to add values, basically just add some friends, right? So again, I would pause here and see if you can do some adding of some friends. All right, so basically everything is going to be a dot method. So you're going to do the name of the array list, dot, and then the methods, what I like about array list is they're kind of what I would call intuitive. So like the add method, I just do add, and then I put whatever string I want to add in there. And maybe I'm going to heal the world's wounds here. I'm going to have both Biden and Trump become friends now. Look at this. Computer science is solving all the world's friends, or all the world's problems. Who else should they be friends with here? Maybe Vlad Putin here. Maybe he'll be a buddy. Now they're all buddies, and the world is getting a better place already. So I'm going to put them in the friends list. All right. And again, these add them to the end of the list. So initially you have nothing, and then when you do Biden, Biden will be in spot 0, Trump will be in spot 1, and Putin will be in spot 2, index 2. All right, and I guess I should put that under, that's the append element to the end of the list. That's how you do this. So I'm not going to do another one here, but basically, if you just do .add, it puts it on the end. Okay. So if you want to add the element in the second position, index 1 of the linked list, see if you remember how to do that. Okay, and so I'm going to do friends.add, and Mr. Parse is a powerful person, so maybe he would be friends with all of them, right? So that's how we normally do it. But then if I want to do it at index 1, I think you do the index first and then the value. Right, so in this case, Parse will be added in position 1. So Trump used to be there, but now it'll slide down. So it'll go Biden will be 0 still, and then Parse will be in the first spot, and then Trump and Putin will slide down 1 each. So Trump will now be in spot 2 and Putin in spot 3. So it would go Biden, Parse, Trump, Putin, right at this point. Right, so it would be Biden, Harris, Trump, Putin. Okay. And then if I want to remove, all right, so I'm going to remove the element in the third position, which would be index 2. So now I'm going to take out Trump, right? So I'm going to do friends, right, the array, and then dot, and then to remove the method is what you'd expect, remove, and then I'm just going to specify the position index 2, okay? And so that would wipe out Trump. So if we copy this down, right, Trump will have been now removed, and it'll just be Boris Biden Putin. Okay, and one thing I would put in here about the remove is it does return the element that was there. So if I wanted to store it, I could say like string removed, right? So I could keep track of which one I removed. Sometimes you might want to do that. You want to know which one is removed. So the remove method does return, right? I'm not sure if the add, I don't think add returns anything that I know of. I guess we could look that up. But anyways, so just to show you that, I think if I kept track of all this, right, that should be Paris right there if we run this. No, not Paris, sorry, Trump. Because Trump would be in that second index, and that's the one that got removed. Okay. So sometimes you want to get an element out but not remove it. So now we want to get the element in the second position, index 1, which would be Paris, but we're not going to remove it. So again, I would pause the video here and see if you can figure out the next couple lines. And actually, when I'm looking at this, let's do the append to list. So this one, you have to make another list and then put them together. And then let's do the enhanced for loop because you probably want to see what they look like after that. So try the next couple here, and again, you can on pause and watch the different answers. Okay, so I'm going to get this friend, and again, what I really like about this is you just do the name of the array list, so our friends array list, and then you dot, and then get. Okay, so get gets it out without removing it, right? So that'll return it, and then we can do whatever we want with it. So maybe we want to say hello. You have nice hair. Right, so we'll do that friend, give them a nice compliment today instead of being mean like I usually am. So hopefully if we run this, again, that should be Paris is in position 1. So give him a compliment about nice hair. I'm not sure if he has nice hair. He's kind of going bald like me, so maybe that's maybe that's like a snarky comment, to be honest, but neither here nor there. Okay, so how many elements there are? There should be 3 at this point. Okay, and to do that, you'd think it'd be length like it would be for a string or a regular array, but ArrayList is .size. So I'm going to do friends dot size, and that'll tell me how many elements. Okay, so if we print it out, that should just be 3 at this point. Okay, just like with arrays, loops and array lists go together hand in hand. So very, very often you're going to want to go through and like loop through the elements and like find the sum or maybe calculate their grade point average or something if there's a student, right? So but there's many times you're going to loop through all the elements and do something. So that loop, again, if you want to try this on your own, that'd be great. And maybe just display them all and then on pause to see if your answer makes sense. All right, and just to kind of give you some help with what the loop would look like, basically here's the array list, right? 0, 1, 2. And so I would just want to call that get, right? So basically to display the Biden, I would just do a sysout print of friends.get position 0. Okay, but then to do the other two, I'm just going to do the same thing. All that's going to be different is the index number. So here would be 1, here would be 2. All right, and so basically to do this, I'm just going to make a loop I, right? and then loop I from 0 to less than the size, right? Because remember the size at this point is 3. So if I go 0 less than size, I'll get 0, 1, 2. And then all I got to do here is just get the ith element, and that'll essentially do the code that you see right here, right? If I do a loop, then that can get through all of them, all the different indexes, and then print them out. All right, so the loop heading would just be for int I, which really is like an index here. Start at the 0 position, go less than the size, and go up by 1. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that sysout print of friends dot get the ith one, and maybe we'll give them a little insult here. Is as cool as Westphal. That's about the meanest thing I can think right there. So I'm just going to get them whatever that string is right there, and then append it with this string and print it out. Okay, so you can see that that should loop through all of them, and then it insults them one at a time. I don't know if I want to insult Vlad Putin. That seems like probably like a bad idea, but the chances of him watching this video is about 0%, so I guess I'm not too worried. Okay, and then the final thing I want to show is you can like merge two lists together. So if I make another array list quick, so array list string, I guess they'd have to have the same type of variable in them, but these are like lesser, let's do lesser friends. What a sad world it is. Oh, so I need array list. Okay, and then I need, I'm messing everything up here. I need new array list of strings with nothing in it. All right, and then I'm going to add to my lesser friends. We'll add, let's say Schultenberg. I'm just kidding, I really like Schultenberg. So we'll do lesser friends to add. Who else do we add in our? We'll add Franz here. Okay, so these are my lesser friends. All right, so now I've got two array lists, and then I think to append them, I think what I could do is take my friends and do add. I think there's an add all. Yeah, an add all of my lesser friends. So I think that would take and append Schultz and Franz to the end of this. So I'd put Schultz here and Franz here, so I'd have 5 total. Okay, and we'll print it out here in a second and kind of see if that actually worked. I'm not sure if that works, but if it doesn't, we'll go back and fix it. So, because I think if I just print it out, so let's just do this one. So if I sysout friends, I think it'll just print the memory location, but it might actually print out all the numbers. Oh, look at that. That's pretty nice. It actually prints it out for us without having to do a special for loop or anything. So yeah, it does put them on the end, it looks like. Okay, but I do want to do this enhanced for loop. So this ends up, again, like, because enhanced for loop, the idea is because we loop so frequently that we can actually do it quicker, right, on an array list situation by just doing it this way, and essentially it removes the need to do this friends.get position I. It kind of does that step for you. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to do for, right, and then if you want to try to remember how to do this, that would be great. But basically you have to do the type first, a colon, then the array or array list you are pulling from. All right, so for us, we have strings. So I'm going to do string, and I'm going to call it whatever I want. I'm just going to call it friend to represent one of the friend, and do colon, and then the name of the array or array list, which in this case is friends. Okay, so that's going to take this string and populate it one at a time with each friend. Okay, and then we can just sysout print that friend like that. Oh, except I can't name it friend because I already named something friend. Oh yeah, I already named this one friend, so I can't name it that. Okay, so I'll just call it FRI. Okay, and so if I run that, that'll print them out one at a time, right? So that's kind of a cool thing that I love these enhanced for loops. They just kind of make it a little bit shorter way to do a loop. Okay, that's it. Save these notes and use them for reference when you're doing array lists. Have a good day.